The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has approved applications from the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and the CBOE to list exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, tied to the price of Ether, potentially paving the way for products like these to start trading later this year. And joining us now to break it down is the CEO of CoinShares, Jean-Marie Mognetti. Thank you so much for joining, Jean. And where does this latest approval put us on a path to seeing an actual investable Ether ETF?
Thank you for having me. So where does that put us? So the 19B4 has been approved, which means a change of listing rule has been done. So now we still need to see some prospectus being approved, which is, probably a couple of weeks away, and then the prospectus can go effective and the listing can happen. So depending how fast the SEC wants to move on this approval process for the S1, how much work needs to be done, it will be conditioned by that. Now, we already know the SEC will not approve a prospectus with staking embedded, which will certainly simplify the review process and make it very akin to Bitcoin. So at that point, it should be pretty quick.
Jean-Marie, I gathered pretty quick there. I think for our viewers, they would want to know, what is the next step in this approval process? Is there a date? Is there a specific ruling that you expect that you can share with our viewers?
No, there is no specific date right now. It's just the next timeline is the SEC approving prospectus or approving S1. And that's with the SEC, so it's a wait and see game at that point. There is no real deadline.
Were you surprised by the ruling? Most I had talked to ahead of this did not expect approval. What was your initial reaction?
Well, look, we're a European company first and foremost. We plan to be a global company, so we can't really comment on US politics per se with accuracy, but clearly the SEC has a change of mind overnight. Which was not at all what was the course of action plan. So, as an entire industry, everybody was surprised by this change of decision, and it can only be explained by something bigger than just the SEC.
I'm curious, Jean-Marie, what skin your company, CoinShares, has in this process, as your firm is a digital asset manager.
So funny enough, CoinShares, through its subsidiary Valkyrie, has no skin in this process because we decided not to apply for S1 without staking. For us, the staking component is critical in the differentiation between what is proof of work and proof of stake, and kind of not allowing staking is not making a fair realization of what is Ethereum for investors. So we want to offer quality product to our investors. We are a niche asset management company. We are specialized in digital assets. We did Ethereum as an ETF format in Europe almost 10 years ago now. So if we want to do it properly in the US, it needs to be done with staking.
And will this make ETFs a safe investment?
ETF are safe in terms of the security wrapper around it is very well known. The safety on the ETF, the next one is how is your underlying asset protected? Where the question comes is do you have the right amount of return on your investment based on the nature of the underlying? And the answer here would be no, because you are losing on the entire staking revenue model.
For investors, Jean, what do they get from an ETF that they wouldn't get from investing outright in a cryptocurrency like Ether?
Oh, it's pretty simple. For an investor, the benefit of investing in the ETF outright is you invest from your brokerage account, your 401k program, or whatever retirement account you have. So it's a very kind of plug and play model. The downside is you will not get access to the staking reward. So you will pay fee on your ETF, which you will not be able to balance with the yield generated by the staking.
But is there any more regulatory protection if you invest in an ETF versus the cryptocurrency directly?
Well, it all depends how you decide to secure your cryptocurrency. If you invest your cryptocurrency with someone like Coinbase, you get some form of protection. If you invest them as securities, you get other form of protection with different kind of protection scheme. At the end of the day, it's all down to your cybersecurity risk and what kind of cybersecurity player you want to work with.
Ether hit just shy of 4,000 on Monday. It is up about 60% year to date. What do you see as a price target by year end?
Well, we're not really in the price forecast game. Let's put it simpler in a simple term. Ethereum was trading very poorly since the beginning of the year. It rallied on the news. It is kind of holding a pattern around 3,700, 3,750. I think the next catalyst is going to be the confirmation of some S1 date. And then we will see what's happening. There is a lot of different tension in the market between the believer that actually a lot of people are going to trade out of the Bitcoin ETF into the ETH ETF to diversify. And that's kind of one of the theory. And the other theory is that a lot of people are going to just allocate and you're going to get a squeeze on demand, which will provocate a higher price.
All right, so we'll be watching the price action of Bitcoin as this process moves along as well. Jean-Marie Mognetti, CEO of CoinShares, a digital asset manager. Jean-Marie, thank you.